Good morning, Oman. You're listening to Your Nation Station. This is Jumpstart with me, Talat al-Shahri, and today we have the executive chairperson of Birba Energy and the organizer of the Green Hydrogen Summit, Mr. Abdullah Al-Harthi. Welcome to the show, Mr. Abdullah. It's a true pleasure to have you, and let's get right into it. Can you please tell me about green hydrogen before we talk about this huge summit that you are organizing at the Oman Convention Exhibition Center later this year?
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me today. It's my pleasure, and I'll be happy to spend the time with you here today. Well, green hydrogen is became really the talk of town. The world is today is talking about the green hydrogen from the east to west. It is. It's a technology or the fuel already exists from before, but however the demand it became very important that to go and explore further. Now Oman is unique and there's the potential to produce a very good amount of green hydrogen in a good right price.
Okay, and what initially got you interested in green hydrogen? How did you enter into this field?
Well, it is quite an interesting actually, and I came across with some colleagues who in one of the universities and talking about it, and it is an important, it's a potential. We look at it, some of the professors and lecturers, and then it's across. Well, this I think is good to Oman, and they were struggling somehow to promote it and to bring it to the surface. That it was 1919, a couple of years back, and here we are today. The whole country is moving forward. Also, that His Majesty Sultan Haytham added momentum to this particular kind of transformation or moving toward the clean energy.
We have definitely seen that big push happening here in the Sultanate at the moment, with many big announcements taking place one after the other. Them talking about being carbon neutral by 2050. Just recently, they've spoken about how many jobs will be available in the green hydrogen sector over the next while. They're talking a lot of course, about economic diversification, moving away from petroleum products to clean energy.
Yes.
And this isn't the first energy summit you've been behind.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about your first foray into this?
It's true. We are to be honest, we're a very small company. However, we're ambitious, but also we had a very good people from the energy side, experts who really, when we addressed the idea to them and really loved it and said, let's move forward. Yes, this is the second edition. The first edition, we thought about it in 1919. However, we managed to execute it in 2020. And that was the first, and during the corona, but alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we managed to do as virtual as well as in person. We, after few of rescheduling, the impact was very good and the interest was huge, and it was successful. Alhamdulillah, can say that. Of course, that is with his support of His Excellency the Minister Salum Al-Aufi.
Okay, what made you decide to create the conference back in 2020? As you mentioned, it was peak COVID times, and yes, you moved virtual, but it must have been hard initially to think how you could pull this off, and you managed to. What made you choose to do it, and what made you choose to continue with it during COVID times?
To be honest with you, that's surrounding countries, the neighboring country already moving forward, and I noticed that we are slightly behind. We need to catch up, and the summit must to move on with it. And despite of having the pandemic at that time, we said we can do it in virtual. However, but we were measuring the time, the situation, and then we found it probably the end of the year. At the initial stage, we thought about having September. Then we have to postpone it twice. And we managed to do it in December with a virtual as well in person. We had a very good turnover, and around 700 to 800 in physical, also in with virtual delegates. So talking about 1,100, 1,200 people really attended that particular summit. It's the first one of its kind in Oman.
That is very good, and it's very impressive to see 1,100 during COVID at the peak.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this one that's happening. Now we're generally over the COVID pandemic, and the Oman Convention Exhibition Center has brought events back in full time. And your event is going to be one of the biggest to grace the Amman Convention Exhibition Center this year.
Yes.
And it's happening, inshallah, in December, the first week
Yeah.
of December. I'd like you to tell me what people should expect. Who is going to speak? What's going to be the main focus? What's the exhibition going to be like? Could you give us an idea of that?
Well, again, let me go back to the first edition was very successful compared to it was the first summit for green hydrogen, and we learned a lot from the first one. Also through the challenges of pandemic, we managed to pick up some good lessons out of it. This year basically is a journey itself. It is a challenge itself with so many things we are actually is enjoying. We're almost going to be at 2 times or 3 times bigger than last year. Last year we had about 50, or let's say 45 to 50 speakers. This time we're about 70 speakers. We at the beginning of this summit we expect to be only one conference. Now the technical committee and executive committee decided no, it's enough because the demand of speakers is very high. We have about 75 speakers across the globe. We have from North America, from South America, we have from Australia, from Far East, we have from Europe, we have from MENA region, and from Oman itself. We have quite a lot of enthusiasm, and people are interested in the green hydrogen. So we're expecting about 70 speakers. We have a technical conference. We have a strategic conference. We have 13 workshops dedicated for green hydrogen subject, presented or managed by prominent company from USA to Australia to Japan. We have big names are involved.
The biggest names.
Yes.
Looking at it, just at your website, you have almost every big name out there in the energy sector taking part in the summit.
Absolutely, yes.
Which is a great achievement. Tell me more, please.
Yes, I can say that the big company here in Oman already on board, and the big player in green hydrogen on board. Also, we received a good interest from some countries who are leading, either from technology side, or from the consuming side, which is like Japan, Korea. We have Germany are from consuming side. Technology as well from Germany, as well from USA. We have from Australia as well. We are getting interest from Chile. That's a fantastic movement we managed to pull together, and the interest we're gonna see. Also, beside those conferences I mentioned, there will be a special event in the evening, which is for the executives, by invitation only. His Excellency Salom Nasr Al-Aufi will be leading that particular roundtable discussion, which is the subject for today is about energy security and what green hydrogen will assist in this particular issue we are currently the world is facing. So it is a good gathering we're expecting from all over the places to meet here in Oman during December first week.